That's not what self-defense is. And it actually looks like this fucking retard who took the gun is actually the one who fired the first shot. There's just no way it can keep going like this. If it does, more people will die, more people will get angry, and it's gonna lead to something way worse. Hey guys, a lot of ICE shit has been going down recently, and I kind of wanted to just recap kind of everything that's been going on in Minneapolis and kind of give my thoughts about what has gone down so far. So the first big thing that kind of started a lot of this ICE talk was the shooting of Renee Good. And I kind of wanted to just go over the footage of that. You can see in the video, she's backing up and then the ICE agent walks in front of her car. She turns her wheel, starts driving, and then he shoots her. Once through the front and then 2 times as she's driving away. And obviously the second and third shot that are through the side window when he's already on the side of the car is obviously inexcusable, but people are mostly arguing about when he started shooting. And I think the big problem I have with this is that he puts himself in danger. You can't put yourself in danger and then claim self-defense. If you're the reason you're in danger by putting yourself there, that's no longer self-defense. That's you putting yourself in a position where your only option is to attack. If a cop pulls you over and he sees you backing up and then he walks in front of your car, he doesn't get the authority to just unload a clip into you. I know it might seem crazy, but you should probably just move away from a moving car, especially when it's somebody that poses no threat to you at all. But after the shooting, Donald Trump decided to go on Truth Social and send this out, saying, "I have just viewed the clip of the event which took place in Minneapolis. It is a horrible thing to watch. The woman screaming was obviously a professional agitator, and the woman driving the car was very disorderly, obstructing, and resisting, who then violently, willfully, and viciously ran over the ICE officer. Based on the attached clip, it is hard to believe he is alive." I don't know about you guys, but from the video I saw, saying that she ran him over and that it is hard to believe he is alive is just a blatant lie. And then a couple days ago, there was the shooting of Alex Preddy. And this video recaps the shooting really nicely, so I'm just gonna play it.
Video from this white car shows an up-close angle of a federal immigration officer pushing one protester. Then, 3 seconds later, he pushes Preddy, and then as the camera comes into focus, you see the same federal officer push a third protester with the orange backpack. Preddy raises his hand and turns away, just as the officer sprays him with a chemical irritant. You see Preddy and the other protester trying to help the person with the orange backpack. You can see here an officer pulling Preddy off of this person. 3 more officers join, and then 2 more. Preddy is on the ground under them. One officer in a tan beanie can be seen repeatedly striking Preddy's head with a metal can. You can see an officer in a gray jacket walk into the frame. There isn't a gun in his hand. Seconds later, officers shout. The officer removes the gun from Preddy's belt. The officer steps away from the scene carrying a firearm, seen here in his right hand. Then, gunfire. At least 10 shots ring out.
Yeah, so that was fucking crazy. And I just have one question. So the ICE agents come over, they push this woman down. He tries to help her out and he gets pushed down. They both get maced and they're beating the actual fuck out of this guy on the ground. Somebody yells gun. And then they unload 10 fucking bullets into this guy. Can somebody tell me why you would ever need to unload any bullets onto a guy where 6 ICE agents are on top of him? He's been maced and is getting the shit beaten out of him. Does that make any sense at all? And I really like this video, but there's one part of the CNN analysis that I actually think they missed. People slowed down the footage of the ICE officer who took the gun, and it actually looks like this fucking retard who took the gun is actually the one who fired the first shot, causing the other ICE agents to unload fucking 10 bullets into this guy, and practically ended up getting this dude killed. And I mean, this situation is just completely indefensible. There's literally nothing you can even say to try and justify this. But the conservatives are gonna try. So this is a tweet from Stephen Miller saying, "An assassin tried to murder federal agents, and this is your response." And this was retweeted by JD Vance. Can anybody tell me where the assassin is in this video who tried to murder federal agents, when they walked up to him, when they pushed him onto the ground, when they beat the shit out of him, when they maced him, and then they shot him? What part of that is an assassin trying to murder federal agents? And JD Vance felt so good about this, he just had to retweet it. And then we got one from Trump on Truth Social. This is the gunman's gun, loaded with 2 additional full magazines and ready to go. What is that all about? Again, I think it's really funny how they say this guy is a gunman. When people say gunman, they mean somebody who like commits a crime with a gun, like they shoot people, not just somebody who has a gun. So again, I think it's really funny how they're trying to spin this as some dude who showed up ready to murder ICE agents. And when you watch the video, it's just the complete opposite. Like the only idea I think they have is maybe if they just say these lies over and over again, and nobody watches the video, that all the conservatives will just run with it. And that's probably the sad truth of this, is that conservatives will just look at dictator Trump and see, oh, he's saying there was a gunman that was trying to kill ICE agents? That's so true. And they'll just follow along like the good fucking sheep they are. And I guess I just want to end with this video from Chris Murphy, who's a senator from Connecticut, basically saying that Pam Bondi sent out a letter saying that ICE will leave if they turn over the voter database to Trump, which just shows that this is all like a power play. If you're fine with pulling ICE out when you get the voter database, they obviously aren't solving much, because why would you pull them out if there's a problem there to be solved still, even if you get your voter database? So I'll just play this.
By now you've seen this horrific video, another individual killed in Minnesota. It's just fucking awful, the inhumanity of this. We cannot fund ICE as it is constituted today. But we found out something else really important today. Pam Bondi sent a letter to state officials in Minnesota in which she made a list of demands for ICE to leave Minneapolis. And one of those demands was that the state turn over its voter rolls to the federal government. This has never been about public safety. Minneapolis is a much less safe place today because ICE is there. This is likely about trying to rig and steal the election. Donald Trump is wildly unpopular. He is not committed to democracy. And he knows the only way that his movement is to retain power, the only way that his corporate allies retain power, his billionaire allies retain power this November, is for Trump to steal the election. And so he's saying to Minneapolis, if you don't give me control of the voter rolls, then ICE isn't leaving. And you can see that if he gets away with it in Minnesota, he's likely going to try it in places like Philadelphia and Phoenix, other key cities in swing states. So understand why it's so important for us to draw a line. I have been arguing all weekend that the Senate should not pass funding for the Department of Homeland Security. First and foremost, because this is a rogue agency that is operating outside of the law and is killing American citizens, but also because the underlying game here may be to steal the 2026 election. And no senator, but in particular no Democratic senator, should play a part in that.
Basically, with all this fucked up shit, at this point, I think we should just abolish ICE. I mean, the department has tainted its name in blood, and there really is no going back. Whenever I see ICE, I'm going to think, wow, these are the guys that just like murdered civilians in the streets. And obviously there's a purpose for ICE, and there are some duties that they do that should be upkept. But at this point, completely new department needs to come to in order to carry out those duties. And that's kind of where it leads us today, where Senate Democrats are hopefully going to block a funding bill to a bunch of different agencies, which is including Homeland Security. I'm kind of hoping for any of the things I said before. And at the very least, there needs to be substantial change to how this agency is ran, because there's just no way it can keep going like this. If it does, more people will die, more people will get angry, and it's going to lead to something way worse. I'll leave it at this. If they thought they were right, they wouldn't need to lie. They wouldn't need to say that Renee Good viciously ran over the ICE officer. They wouldn't need to say that Alex Preddy was an assassin that tried to murder federal agents. They wouldn't need to say that he's a gunman. They wouldn't need to lie about any of this if they believed they were in the right. But they know they fucked up, so that's why they have to lie. And that's all I got. Subscribe and I'll make more videos. Bye.